Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. We got the F around and find out portion that Warner Brothers continues to find themselves in after doing multiple failures after their one major win, which was Hogwarts Legacy. They decided to throw it all away for a multitude of failures and waste their money on games like Multiverses, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, development on Wonder Woman that went nowhere, closing down Monolith Studios. There's been a massive, massive waste of money going on at Warner Brothers. And here we are, where now the one game that people were probably looking forward to, the one thing that people were probably excited for when it was coming from Warner Brothers, you're not even going to get that anymore. Hogwarts Legacy Definitive Edition has officially been canceled by Warner Brothers. And not only that, Hogwarts Legacy DLC that was being worked on for the game is also being canceled by Warner Brothers. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a massive F around and find out moment for Warner Brothers because it was their decision to waste their insane amount of money. They got infused into their company from Hogwarts Legacy. They thought they were on top of the world. They thought they could do whatever the hell they want, and they ended up wasting it all. So let's get into this article, guys, from Insider Gaming. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. We'll greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. And again, boys, it is just a massive cluster that's going on over at Warner Brothers. The fact that they are restructuring this hard shows me that they've effed around and found out to the point where they no longer have the money or the ability to be able to back it, right? Keep in mind, like we just talked about in the other video about Scion Worlds and Myst, right? That developer being around for so long that almost nobody even knows half the time. They decided to fire people recently. And it goes to show that with the lack of funds available publicly, the government money has dried up. It is proving to be a big factor in the gaming industry where all these studios that were still alive because of government funds, all these studios that were being supported and subsidized by your taxpayer dollars are now all gone or dying because they can't actually survive on their own. They can't survive by selling a product and actually trying to survive in capitalism. It's literally impossible. They're activists and need to be subsidized by government money in order to do their activism and not be worried about it. Warner Brothers Games has canceled the planned Hogwarts Legacy Definitive Edition. According to a new report from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, the Definitive Edition and DLC's cancellation comes as part of an ongoing restructure at the entertainment company's video game unit. You know how you make Hogwarts Legacy Definitive? You put Quidditch in the damn game like it should have been from the start. You guys took Quidditch. This is my biggest complaint about Hogwarts Legacy. You guys took Quidditch out of the game to resell it as a garbage multiplayer game that almost nobody is playing now. That's what you decided to do. You could have took a legendary game and made it absolutely even more legendary by including the game that everybody knows in the Hogwarts in Hogwarts. Like everybody knows about Quidditch, and you guys took Quidditch out and sold it as a separate game. You guys are absolute losers for doing that, and I've never agreed with that. According to a new report from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, this is all being canceled. The project was officially canceled this week due to concerns about the amount of content was not substantial enough to justify the price being considered. Insider Gaming exclusively first reported on the development of the Hogwarts Legacy Definitive Edition and DLC back in October of 2024. The new version of the game was scheduled to include 10 to 15 hours of additional content, including a new story quest, side quests, activities, and outfits. In addition to the Definitive Edition of the game, the DLC was expected to be available separately for those who already own the base game. With no extra content now planned for Hogwarts Legacy, the studio seems to be moving forward, focusing on the eventual sequel to the popular game. Back in November, outgoing Warner Brothers Games president David Haddad said that Hogwarts Legacy 2 was a very big priority for the company and that production of the game was in progress. Well, I think that's pretty obvious why that is, right? Because they're looking towards Hogwarts Legacy to be their savior, right? Hogwarts Legacy gave them all the money in the world to do this nonsense that they did afterwards, and now they realize that the money has dried up. Now they realize that all that money they were banking on, the government money, the money they made from Hogwarts Legacy, all of it is gone. They've ruined everything, and now they have to hope that Hogwarts Legacy 2 somehow is as successful as Hogwarts Legacy 1, which I'm sure as long as they give players what they want, that it will be exactly that. But the simple fact is that they decided to do this themselves. They're the ones who ruined their entire plan by wasting all the money that they made on Hogwarts Legacy when nobody asked them to do that. People were super excited with Hogwarts Legacy. Everybody loved it for the most part. It was a great time. And then they decided to just do absolute flop after flop after flop after flop. They essentially did what Ubisoft did, except they didn't have, China come and buy them out as of right now anyway. So it says the sequel is being developed by the same studio Avalanche Software, that developed the first Hogwarts Legacy. The original game has sold nearly 35 million copies and has remained a top-selling game each month since its February 2023 release. Guys, oh my God, dude, I didn't even realize it was that high. Hogwarts Legacy sold 35 million copies. Do you guys understand how disgusting that is? Do you understand how much of a flop Warner Brothers would have to do afterwards in order to lose all that money that they made from Hogwarts Legacy? I mean, Jesus, what the hell are you doing that you decided to mess this up? You had such a win. 35 million copies is disgusting. I'm sorry, in a good way. It is unbelievable how many copies Hogwarts Legacy sold, and you fumbled the bag. Who does that, bro? Who does that to the extent of Warner Brothers? And keep in mind, too, they didn't just fumble in terms of their video games. They fumbled in terms of their movies as well. Warner Brothers as a whole has been flopping left and right and wasting an ungodly amount of money, especially on these activists that were working at Monolith Studios. Did you see some of the writers that were working on Wonder Woman? It's insane how much money they were wasting. But now it's all said and done because they decided to now F around and find out, lose all that money, and now they got to come crawling back to people who bought Hogwarts Legacy 1 in the hopes that they'll buy Hogwarts Legacy 2, which, to be fair, I hope it's good because I really want Hogwarts Legacy 2 to be good. I thoroughly enjoy this game. I don't know of anybody that was necessarily looking forward to a Hogwarts Legacy Definitive Edition because considering how recent the game is, I really don't know what they could have added to the game other than what? All the DLCs plus the new DLC that was going to be added to the game anyway. I don't understand what really people would have been looking forward to. It says 10 to 15 hours of additional content, including a new story quest, side quests, activities, and outfits, when really, it's like, I feel like that's not really worth it. 10 to 15 hours of additional content usually means they're going to bloat the game to justify selling a definitive edition. Again, my biggest gripe with Hogwarts Legacy was the fact they took out Quidditch. I think it was pretty obvious for anybody who played the game when they went to the Quidditch arena and Quidditch was not there. Everybody was like, what's happening? Do you unlock it later on in the game or something? Or is it just not in the game at all? And come to find out, it's not in the game at all. Why? Because they wanted to sell it to you later down the line. They sold it to you as this god-awful game called Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, and they thought they were going to have their next big live service hit. Well, little did you know, there's only 148 people playing right now. It had an all-time peak of 6,574 players because everybody saw right through the nonsense. You can easily see, look at this. Look at this drop. You could easily see that this game was taken out of the single-player experience of Hogwarts Legacy and sold to you later down the line as a live service game. Now, barely anybody's watching it. Barely anybody's playing it. And sure, you sold 80,000 to 250,000 copies, give or take, on Steam. I can only imagine on console. But at the end of the day, you could have sold millions upon millions more copies if Quidditch was in Hogwarts Legacy, in my opinion. So this is what they decided to do with their franchise. It pissed off a lot of people, myself included. And I hope that in Hogwarts Legacy 2, you guys are smart enough to include Quidditch into the game. Because that will, I guarantee you, that will make it worth enough for a lot of people who are Harry Potter fans to go buy this game. Considering that Hogwarts Legacy 1 was already a success, Hogwarts Legacy 2 with Quidditch, that will be an absolute banger. But stop wasting your money on garbage, which, to be fair, it looks like that's what they're doing. They're not wasting their money on garbage anymore. They're not wasting their money on too many activists anymore. But considering that Warner Brothers is also the people who are making the Harry Potter TV show, they just recently race swapped Snape. Needless to say, I don't think I necessarily believe them. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.